this launch. Come on, Dr. Pamela. We are global. This is an elite global workbook. This is not no regular book. It's not even a side. It's a workbook. And it's spectacular. And so, yes, we are rocking on that level because I want our authors to know that we value you so that we wanted to give you global exposure so that everybody can see the special list that you are and how you should be shouted out in platform. And that is our gift to the authors on today. Go ahead, Dr. Pamela. Bring up our next lady.
Our next global coach. Woo-hoo-hoo! Are you ready? We're going to have Sophia come on up. Sophia Cannon, come on up. International global.
Yes.
Welcome. Whoops, we have you still muted. Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am. How are you, ladies?
You look so good.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Pamela. Thank you, mentor Deborah Allen. Thank you guys so much for putting this together and, getting some of us off the couch and into like doing stuff, not just in our little bubble, but for a bigger purpose, for a wider reach to actually help more people. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a background of who I am. I'm Sophia Cannon. I am the founder and owner of 92 Reasons Counseling and Coaching in North Dallas. I actually didn't become a counselor to help other people. I actually became a counselor to help myself. You see, I used to work at the World Trade Center on September 11th. I was 18 years old, 6.5 months pregnant, and on the 92nd floor of 2 World Trade Center. When we got told to evacuate, I ended up on the 82nd to 81st floor when the plane hit the building. The plane hit the 81st floor on the second tower. I was in that impact zone when everybody around me was either dead or screaming that they were going to die. I was absolutely sure that I was going to live. I kept looking and looking until I found another stairwell. I found the only stairwell that was there that I can get down, and I made it out. There were tons of times that I wanted to stop. There were other people stopping, and I stopped with them because if somebody was hurt, I stayed. And people had to keep telling me, keep going, keep going. I made it out because of angels, because of other people. And when I got out of that building, regardless of how strong I was in there, regardless of how powerful, regardless of everything that I overcame to make it out alive, to see my unborn child, I felt worthless afterwards. I felt small. I felt invisible. I had no value that I gave to myself. It took me years. It took me lots of years, lots more trauma, lots more trials, and tons of help, tons of divine intervention to get me to where I am today. And just like Dahlia, one of the keys to getting there is getting back to who am I? Who am I? One of the hardest questions for anybody to answer, especially when you go through trauma after trauma. You feel like that changed who you are. But guess what? God knew who he created from the beginning. And those traumas don't change you. They add to everything that you're doing. They teach you. They teach you even more who you are. But in the moment, we don't see it. And that's what I do. Just like Dahlia, we help people remember who they are, find out who they are, grow into their purpose, and make their passion and their mission that they were sent, the things that they want to do, help them meet their goals by one thing, getting back to who they are as the foundation for everything that they do. And my chapter in this book is about discovering your true self-worth. When anybody needs help when it comes to finances, they don't keep struggling by themselves. They find someone. When I was struggling, I had counselor after counselor, and it's okay. It's okay to keep going from counselor to counselor until you find the right one. Because when you find the right one, it makes the world of a difference. And there are different types. I have a mental health counselor who helps me with certain things. And there are things that person helps me with that Dr. Allen can't help me with. But when Dr. Allen speaks some stuff into me, especially Sophia, if I hear you say sorry one more time, I might come through this phone. Yes, there are things that people teach me along the way, and you find your people, you find your tribe, and you'll help find and solidify who you are. So this chapter is teaching you about the currency of self-worth. In this workbook, it'll show you how to grow. All of these chapters combined gives you a jump start on how to grow, and you find the right person in there. You find the right type of people that you need in your life, and you'll find your way.
Don't make me cry. I am so proud of you guys. We did not, none of us talked about our chapters. None of you wrote the chapters I thought you were right. Let me just say that. I will be honest. Nobody, Dr. Pamela, I saw Dr. I said, now where that chapter come from? Nobody wrote
Right.
what we thought they were right. We all listen to our voice of specialty. And that can be many things. You were destined to be here. I am honored to work with all these specialists who sacrifice. We have been pushing. We have been doing so much to get this thing right. And we birthed it. This is our baby. We all own this book equally. This is a group effort. And just to hear you say that you survived all that and then struggle with self-worth, that's mind-boggling. But it's life, though. Tell them how they can reach out to you, because your voice is so powerful. Somebody that's struggling need to hear how to reach out to you.
True.
Simple. One of the things that's easy to remember, I was on the 92nd floor of 2 World Trade Center. And my company's called 92 Reasons. I used reason after reason to make it out of that building. We all have our reasons. My husband has 42. We all have reasons why we move through life. Things that we tell ourselves. I need to see my sisters. I need to see my son. I need to see my parents. I need to do stuff with my life. I had to keep reminding myself our 92 reasons is why I'm here.
Oh my gosh, Sophia, you have moved me. Really just moved me to the core. I want to thank you for finding those 92 reasons. I want to thank you for pressing on, because you chose those 92 reasons. We are here with you today. You are in this book that is going to help so many people and is already changing the world, because you said yes. I know your family is so grateful, but I want to just personally thank you, because you're going to affect the world, because you kept pressing through, 90 reasons or 60 reasons, and you just kept pressing until 92 brought you into the clear. Thank you for being who you are. How amazing it is to have you in this incredible workbook with us. So blessed to know you, Sophia. Thank you.
Nice seeing you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You as well.
My. That's why I got all the balloons, because I'm partying. Let me say this. This is the last book of the year. I got balloons. I got number ones. I'm kicking it over here, because let me just say it. This workbook already number one. It is number one in 6 categories. I can hold it no more, Dr. Pamela. I can hold it no more. It is number one in 6 categories, internationally number one. And I got all these balloons because for Igniting the Flame Publishing, this is the final book of the year. Woo-hoo-hoo. And so I had to surround myself with balloons. I'm throwing myself a party because it is, oh my gosh, it's also our first year. Oh, I kept looking at that number one. Our first year publishing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying. We've done 13 books, and majority of Dr. Pamela, we have been connected 39 authors, 31 authors, 34 authors. So I haven't done regular books. All these big books have come out of Igniting the Flame. And so many people have been a part of that. And so I do got the balloons going. I do, because I am in awe.
Right.
And then this was such a push for this. When we dreamed it before I graduated, you kept saying, this your 50th year, Apostle Dr. Deborah. We're gonna have to celebrate big. Let's do something that neither one of us have ever done. And we came up with Coach Drs. Now that's vision.
Yes.
That's purpose. And that's our voice.
That's our voice, igniting the flame in so many all over the world. Do you remember what the Lord said? You and your books were going to go all over the world. And through your books, you were going to go all over the world. You'll go all over the world anyways, but one of the ways is through your books. Remember? Your books. And what did you say? International. Bestseller. See, the books are going all over the world, just as God said they would.
We got Jewish sisters. Think about that. We got Sophia from Trinidad. Come on. We got people in England. We got people in the UK. Our voices have reached. It's December 30th. And we birthed it. It looked like it wasn't gonna make it, y'all. Because this was not easy. When greatness is at hand, it is a fight.
Yes.
But the authors, man, they held in there with us. They believed in us, and they rolled with us.
They did.
I'm done talking. I'm gonna mute myself. But I'm just.
Wow. Well, before you mute yourself, I want to pick this book back up just for a moment. Do you see those beautiful doctors up on the top there? So this picture actually was taken at Dr. Apostle Deborah's commencement ceremony. And we took it for fun, really. I mean, and special. But then Lady Nicole said to us, who is our project manager, you have to put that on the cover. You need to put that on the cover.
That is at graduation. It is.
So here we are, both of us in our garb, all dressed up as doctors. And who knew that we would be standing together and then get our picture taken together and then put it on this book? But God. And Dr. Deborah, I want to thank you because you really have been through a lot of things. And there would have been numerous reasons to say, I'm done. And nobody would have said, and when I say I'm done, I mean that we took Coach Drs off the docket for a season because you were dealing with your own things. And nobody would have said, well, why is she doing that? Everybody would have totally understood, totally got it. But you rose above the fray. You kept your vision up higher. When you had your moments, you talked to me or to others, you got the prayer, the encouragement that you need, but you see, you are worthy of being on the cover of this because you walk it and you talk it. And I'm so honored to be running alongside of you. And this is the part that not everybody knows. You know, having a publishing company, being an author and a visionary author, you know what? I'll just say it. They're a dime a dozen. They're out there. But to be really well established and to be a person of integrity, 1 in a million. And who this woman is exactly she. You know, I've been with her in her personal life. on the phone, in restaurants, off camera. And she is exactly who she looks like she is. So I want to thank you, because at any moment you could have said, we just need to hold on this for a bit. And we did hold for 10 days. That's all, just 10 days. But thank you for pushing through and for pressing through and for being the phenomenal leader, Deborah, that you are. You are somebody that I just so respect, and I'm so glad to call you business partner and friend. So thank you. So I just wanted to give you a little whoop, whoop, whoop. And you jumped in when you heard the call to start your publishing company. You just went for it. You didn't analyze it to death or think about it over and over. You were just like, boom, let's move. And I mean, look at all the books that have come through your company. And of course, the last one of the year is right here, the platinum, right? Literally the platinum. So thank you so much. And is there anything that you want to say before we call up our next wonderful global coach?
I think that success is based on who you are surrounded with. I think that at the time that we begin to do a lot of the things that I am doing, God shifted me in relationships. Yeah. As your relationships shift with them. I remember when I was doing Women of Power, Ignited to Serve. You say, Apostle Deborah, I could come alongside you and run. You didn't say come alongside and take over, but we ran together. It's not often that you can run with other people. So when you find somebody you can run with them. I would say that. I think this has been just a phenomenal year. Despite everything, I had surgery seven weeks ago, and we had to push back 10 days because there was a lot going on. I had major surgery, but we pushed back. But we made it. I think that I never would have went back and got my doctor degree. Dr. Pamela said, you're going to have to get for where you're going, Dr. Deborah, you're going to have to step up, be a big girl, and come on. Your business is going to need it. Ministry is going to need it. I'm grateful for wisdom. I think you have been great wisdom. Mm-hmm. I see the age and maturity of who we are, and I think that's great. But you're also a cheerleader and a friend. And so we have been rocking. And so the authors that's in this book, I think it's special. I don't think it's by coincidence that we're here at December 30th. I think that we are the echelon, as you like to always say.
Yes.
And so we had to rock at the end. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm going to mute myself.
It had to be. It had to be. To be here today is just the echelon of echelons to be together. And so with that echelon of echelons, global exposure, let's bring up our next global elite coach. Are you ready? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Dr. Nicckay. And are you ready for her drum roll? Natson, come on. She is.
And we are on your platform. This is your Zenith TV network. We have bossed all the way up on your platform, and our flyers and our show things was spectacular. Woo! I'm not going to scream. I'm sorry. Let me calm myself. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. You are.
It's beautiful. The flyers. Oh, the one I'm just, and then to get the exposure on this level, and you in the book. Go figure.
I know it's phenomenal. Thank you, ladies, so much for, it's such an honor to be a part of this anthology, not just only an anthology, but us as being Coach Doctors. being able to bring our elite specialization to the table. And, you know, because in this season, it's something about the table, you know, the tides have turned and we're seated at a new place in a new position in God. And when I was thinking about this, what is it? So many things that I specialize in, so many things that, well, what is it, God, that you would want me to write this about? What would you want me to write about? So, something that my husband and I are very passionate about is marriage, you know. And I want to also publicly thank Apostle Dr. Deborah Allen. She's always pushing me, you know, to go forth and, you know, do great things. She said, you guys are doing so many great things in the earth and people need to know, you know. And I thank her so much, because you need people that's pushing you, that get behind you to push you. And when you do find people like that, you need to hold on to people like that. But I was thinking, you know, and I said, okay, my husband and I, we're very passionate about marriages, and we have a marriage ministry called the Love Nest. So we talk about the title is actually chapter in the book is helping couples heal and having great sex God's way, because of some experiences I've been through in my childhood where I experienced trauma. I had emotional you know, breakdowns, emotional issues and things because of different things I experienced. And then when I came together with my husband and I got married to my husband, because of my emotional issues that I had, I couldn't really be one with him. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's what we do. We help couples, you know, heal from their past trauma, their past whatever emotional, you know, pains, emotional things that they have. The go through breakthrough to get to break those barriers that's causing them not to be one in marriage and come together as God intended for them to come together and have not only just have great sex God's way, but have sizzling sex God's way. And that's the things that we teach them. And whether that's through coaching them, whether that's through, because also I'm a licensed clinical Christian psychologist. I have a practice, and this is what we do. We do this. This is what we do. We do this thing. You know, we're helping couples and so many things. Licensed marriage. Licensed marriage, also marriage counselor as well, marriage therapist as well. So also to a certified sex therapist. So we help couples, you know, try to experience and come together, and just like it was for Adam and Eve in the garden, to have their own garden and experience is what my husband and I do. It's something that we're very passionate about. We've been married for 25 years together, 27 years, high school sweethearts. And we're very passionate about that. And we want to see couples succeed, and whatever barriers is causing them not to succeed, that's what we want to help break. We want to help break those things and help them, you know, be better communicators, just be better all together in their faith, their finances and everything, just so they can experience true joy here on earth. And that's what that's about, what the chapter is about.
Because what a treasure for all of us to have our launch reach beyond what we ever imagined. So thank you so much, Doctor.
Oh, thank you guys. It's been a blessing.
It looks so stellar.
Mm-hmm.
So if they notice, the people that are specialists are rocking many areas. They're therapists, they're counselors, they have doctor degrees. They are doing many things. Pastors, leaders, apostles, bishops. So you got a range of, but they're educated. Come on, doctor. They got businesses that are successful. 92 Reasons. They are coaches. They're not just people that say they're a coach and they don't have any clients. But I probably should have said that. Dr. Pamela giggled at me.
You know what? You're so right, because anybody can write a book, but not anybody can be an elite coach. Now you can be an elite coach, and maybe you have one really amazing client that you have walked through some stuff with. You can be an amazing coach, bringing your specialty to the table. But that is going to take so much more than having book smart. Come on. So what you're saying is absolutely true. There has to be a life experience. You have to have the right heart in this, because if you're all about self, then you're all about money. And then you're not going to last very long because nobody's going to like you or want to pay you. That's just the way it is. When you are ready to get in the dirt with your people and help them become who they were created to be, to discover,
Ooh.
heal, you know what I'm saying? To break through and to break free. Now that is a coach to follow. That is a mentor, that their call in life is to see the best in you when you can't see it. You know, Dr. Deborah, many years ago, when I made that decision that I was going to start on this path, in my young 20s, I had a mentor who said those words to me. He would tell me what he saw in me, and I would say, no, I
Me
don't.
too.
And he said to me, he said, Dr. Pastor Doug said this. He said, that's all right, Pamela. You just believe in my belief in you. You can borrow it until it becomes your own. But Pamela, believe what I see, because if you believe what I see, you can become great things. If you keep believing what you believe about you, you're not going to go anywhere. And do you know why I believed him? Because I knew he loved me, and I trusted him, and that he really could call me on the carpet in my life, and that he could speak life into me. And that is what we're talking about. And this is the echelon level of these coaches in this book. So what you said, you know, even though we kind of laughed and went, oh shit, no, you were spot on, Dr. Deborah, spot on.
Coaching will change your life.
Yes.
When I reinvented myself 5 years ago, without a coach, I was stuck. Coaching shifted everything in me. I've had about 3 coaches, 4 coaches, and I have continued to, I still have coaches. I'm still coaching, because as you're pointing out to other people, Dr. Pamela, somebody has to fill you back up. Somebody has to pour back into you. If you're depleted, how can you give anybody anything? And that's what's wrong. We get to certain levels and we feel like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. I don't need. No, you need a coach.
Come on.
If you're going to do great things, you need somebody that can see further. You can see, that's been further than you done been, that's done what you have never done. You need people that will come in and open up doors for you for next level. I got to where I'm at. My coaches open doors I couldn't get through by myself. John Tellerico, Les Brown, Dr. Kishma Joyce, The Boss Network, Kamika Smith, Dr. Kamika Smith. I've had coaches that platformed me, that brought me to Chicago, that brought me to TV, that brought me on stages where I could boss up with other women that I had made 2.5 million in childcare. Then women had made 10 million, 50 million. I was on stage with Beyonce mom. I was on stage with the first iconic Black model ever, Beverly Johnson. She was the first Black woman that was ever on Vogue. Come on, somebody. When you have coaches, I'm just saying, they let you level up where you can't level up by yourself. So Coach Doctors is a big thing.
Yes.
Because without our coaches, you would still be stuck. I would still be stuck.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh. I would be so stuck. I would be so stuck. I'm so grateful for all of those that coached me from my 20s on up to where I'm at now in my 50s. Where would I be? And you know what? The type of advice that you and I are qualified to give, and all those that are in this workbook, the level of advice we are qualified to give comes from the level of advice that has been imparted to us. Whose knee are you willing to sit at and grow from that place? Are you willing to do that? Because if you are, you're going to learn fast, you're going to grow fast, and you're going to come into your next really fast. And there's people waiting for you out there that need you, but you need to be ready to give to them. And so Coach Doctors is filled with people that can
Yes.
say exactly what Apostle Deborah, Dr. Deborah just said, the things that I've shared with you. Doors will be open. Your mentor or coach's job is to see the amazing things in you and help you pull them out and open those doors for you. Everybody in this workbook has that heart. So I'm so excited. Should we bring on our next?
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Pamela. I'm your cheerleader. Go.
All right, cheerleader. Let's cheer on this next incredible coach. Let's bring on Charisse. Oh my gosh, Burton, I'm so excited to have you here.
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, y'all were speaking my language. You were speaking my language because it is all about breathing life into other people. That is exactly what all of this is about in every scenario, in every example. So yes, I'm Charisse Burton. I am a business strategy, messaging, and communications coach. I am the founder of Live Your Chosen Life Business Coaching. My chapter is about the power of communication, but it goes so much deeper than that. And I always think it's so funny that communication and messaging and conversation is my thing, because so many years ago, I had a colorful childhood, and that's what the enemy tried to steal. In fact, he did steal for so many years, was my voice, my communication, my just ability to speak. It never happened, because to me, talking meant vulnerability. Speaking and giving, talking about your thoughts was vulnerable, and not doing that kept me safe, and keeping myself quiet kept me safe. But at the same time, I was giving the enemy a foothold that really stretched out over so many years. And I remember being terrified to ever speak. I didn't order my own food at restaurants. I was so afraid to talk in public. And here I am now. I'm speaking. I'm an author. I'm a published author. I speak. I'm a speaker. I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands, of women. And it all came back to the people who were breathing life into me. Proverbs 18 says that our words can be living water to people. We can breathe life into people. We can do that. We've all had that done for us. So that's really what communication is all about. It's about learning how to breathe life into others so that they can uncover those gifts that God created in them at birth, and help them, like you already said, Dr. Pamela, become who God created them to be. Become who God created them to be. And that's what we're here, is to help and support them in growing in that way. And so this was such an honor. This workbook is such a unique, special blend. It really is, because it all mixes together in how we can represent the gifts that God has given us, and how we can support others to do the same with the gifts God has given them. It's really fascinating just listening to the other coaches and the other doctors speak through here. It's just been already so empowering to me. So I am so honored, and I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it more than you know.
Oh, Charisse, as you are talking, I'm thinking, what? She didn't want to talk? What are you talking about? That she didn't want to do what? But yet, just, to point back to what we were saying before you came on, this is why this book is so impactful. You are not sharing out of just head knowledge, some class or course that you took. You are speaking. Yes, you've taken classes, you've taken courses, you're educated, but you are speaking out of a life experience. You know how to take somebody by the hand, literally, and help them along the way. And that is huge, to be a person that came from the place of not wanting to speak or feeling like you didn't have a voice, not even wanting to order your own food, to now you are the strategist. You're a strategist coach, a messaging coach, a coach helping people find their voice from within. This is huge. So
It has been, it really is incredible just to see, because, like Dr. Deborah started off with the fact that it was about finding your voice.
yes.
And I've several years ago, I felt like the Lord just laid on me that it is oftentimes behind your greatest fear, you will find your greatest strength.
Oh, that's so good.
And it was, that was my greatest fear. If someone looked at me wrong or said, anything to me, even in church, I would just burst into tears and never want to go back. It was such a battle. And I still struggle with chronic depression. I go through all those things on a daily basis, but it is learning to breathe life into others, finding your gift, but also because these words, God breathed life into us. And he gave us the ability to speak and breathe life into others. And that is not something that's trifle. That is not a small thing. That is huge. And we all have that ability, every single one of us. And learning how we can do that most effectively is really what my chapter is geared towards, because honestly, communication is way more about listening than it is about talking. Way more about listening and finding out, what does that person need? Having that I call it servant-centered energy, where you really are there to find out how you can support, how you can serve that individual. And that's how you communicate in the most effective manner, is when you know what that person, what they're needing, what they need to hear, how they need to be filled up, how they need to be believed in and poured into.
That is so good. And you're so good at it. And it's so very, very true. I love that. What do you think, Dr. Deborah? So communication is more about listening than it is about speaking. Isn't that true?
I think a coach has to hear.
Yes.
You really have to hear people need.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to hear past what they are saying to what they really want. Exactly. A lot of times, and I can hear my coach say it, that John Tellerico, the connector, we sometimes want to give people what we want them to have.
Right.
But your job is to give them what they want. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's good right there.
Absolutely.
We don't listen and give what they want. Sometimes we just do what we want. This is what I think you should do. No. If you're a great coach, you need to listen to what they really want. And so communication is key, for you have to be able to hear.
You absolutely do. And it's been the same. I've been an entrepreneur and a coach for 20 years. And that is the common thread. It's absolutely true that when people know how much you care, that's what matters.
Yes.
They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And all of that is transferred through listening, asking questions, and communicating in a way that they need to hear. It's all based around the person in front of you and not what we think we need to say.
Wow. And as a coach, elite coaches, are you listening? Because this is just so foundational for our line of work out there. A coach that is going to be sought after is one who people feel, I will say it this way, that you see them. And of course, that's talking about hearing them and getting them. But those people out there all over the world, they're looking for somebody that gets them, that sees them. And that's what your chapter is about. Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We just appreciate you.
Thank you so much. These projects have been amazing. Absolutely incredible.
We have another international. Oh my goodness. She is global, but a global elite coach, but she's international, coming to us from the UK. But not only that, she's not from the UK, but she's in the UK. So really representing 2 nations as she
Ooh.
speaks today. Are you ready for this? Maybe even more than 2 nations, but we're going to call her on up here. Somebody that we both have known, had the ability to spend a lot of time with. I remember the first time that I met on a Zoom call with Joyce, Kamau, and here we are now today, over a year later. Joyce!
And multiple books later. And you already know where we're bestseller at is in the UK.
Yay!
Number 1 in the UK. I wonder if you got something to do with that.
I bet you do.
Thank you so much. You're phenomenal women. You've impacted me in an amazing way. I love the anthology, and I'm so happy that I got connected to these amazing mentors and coaches in my life. Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Joyce Kamau. I'm Kenyan from Africa. Relocated recently, early in the year, to the UK from Zambia in Southern Africa, where I was based with my family, and I'm now living and working here in the UK. I'm so happy to have that global representation, and more so representing Africa in this platform. So thank you very, very much. I'm a coach and a HR practitioner. I'm so passionate about mind coaching, and I'm happy that I have wonderful mentors. I can also bless them through this platform. John Tararico has been enormous in my life. Les Brown has been, he's given me that ability to recognize that I can speak. I have John O'Connor, who of International Coaching Community, and also coaching the brain, and the interest to do mind coaching has come from that interaction, and many more. I have Andrew Long, who was my boss at one point, and now he's a leadership coach. So God bless them so much. I'm here to talk about, my chapter is chapter number 15. It's about renewal of the mind, or paradigm shift, a new way of thinking that helps us achieve our dreams. And my coaching focuses on goal achievement and being the best that you can be. And I'm reminded by Romans 12:2 that we can be transformed by renewing our mind. We can achieve anything we set our mind on. So we can dream and make big, audacious, bold goals, because we can, if we think them, we can achieve them. If we paint the picture of those things that we really desire, we can focus our mind on those things. And you know what? We are amazing creation of God. He gave us a brain that is able to change based on new thoughts, new experiences, new action. It's a process called neuroplasticity, is that whatever you put your mind on is able to change itself to accommodate those new thoughts, to accommodate those new dreams, to accommodate those big, bold, audacious goals. So don't be scared. Don't let those limiting beliefs hold you back, because your mind can accommodate and transform itself into the desires of your heart. So be encouraged. Know that you can be anything you want to be. It all starts with a changed mindset. Focus on those things that will help you achieve your desired goals. And you know what? God fulfills the desires of our hearts, because what He has put in our mind and in our heart, if we focus on it, we're gonna achieve it. So this message that you will find, and the encouragement that you'll find in my chapter, is about helping you to focus, plant wisdom, plant empowering thoughts in your mind, paint the picture of what you want to be. Think about what it will feel like when you succeed, what it will sound like when you succeed, what it will look like when you succeed. I mean, look at this launch. It all started from a thought process. Two wonderful ladies came together and said, you know what, we can share this. We can bless so many. Who do we pull along? And look at what we have been able to achieve. So a changed mindset, planting the right thoughts in your mind will help. Being passionate about that. Be emotionally connected with your dream. Be emotionally connected with your goals. Because when you're emotionally connected, you have the energy, you have the fire, you have the drive to accomplish them. So read on, be encouraged, focus on all the lessons that you'll find in the book. We've also challenged you with action plans, because even when you put the right thoughts, you have to keep monitoring, are you on the right track? So you have to keep the fire going. Remember, be emotionally connected with that which you desire, because you know what? God will fulfill the desires of our heart. Your mind has to think it, your heart has to be in it, and there you have your energy to achieve that which you desire. God bless you.
I love it, Joyce. I'm going to say something about you. I remember when we were doing Women of Power, we were doing all these other anthologies together. And I know you a bad coach because you was rocking them books. When I tell you, you have to use what's in your hand, I was listening to this woman talking about entrepreneur, talking about working what's in your hand. Babe, you was working with it. That's because, see, we birthing books, but we let them sit. I love your chapter about what we are thinking about. It will come to pass. And a lot of times we don't have what we need. We're not succeeding where we need because we're not dreaming big enough. And I can hear our coach Les Brown say, what? Shoot for the moon. For if you land among the stars, you'll still be great. And I get to say that because he's all three of our coaches. We have all worked with him. And he has been such an inspiration. And here you talk about what we know fundamentally to be true is what you are thinking about is what you will be. And a lot of times you need somebody else to help you dream bigger than where you at. Yeah. And I've even with us being together through anthologies, I've seen you pushing. You were pushing. I would look at you and I would say, Deborah, you better come on and push. You see what Joyce. It make me push.
Yeah.
Right? It make me say, I need to get up and move too. That's why your tribe is important because we learn from each other. What you excel at, it empowers me to say, and you say, and I see you rocking, I'm like, I say, she's doing it. I was like, okay, so you're moving a little slow. If get up and let's go. Tribe is important, Dr. Pamela.
Yeah, it is.
Being able to see greatness. Ooh, I love that. You have to see greatness around you to be able to run after it. I'm done. Thank you, Joy. I'm so glad to see you, Joyce. Congratulations on another bestseller.
I know, right? Joyce, you are always such a treasure. And I want to thank you in this chapter for bridging the information about thinking and how the brain works, because that is important that people understand that, because when they get that scientific medical aspect of it, which is something that I really personally love to study on, it brings that aha moment, right? It really does. And so thank you for adding that level to this book, because it's so important for all of us. So I want to thank you for that. It's so good to have you with us. And I personally just adore you. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in all the way from you. What time is it there for you?
This is 10 p.m.
Thank you for being here at 10 o'clock at night. Thank you. That's exactly what Dr. was talking about.
Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for holding my hand. Thank you for giving me this audience. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you. That's exactly what you were talking about, Dr. Deborah, with her and with all of these authors here. She's on the 30th of December. She is at 10 o'clock at night, and here she is hanging with the Coach Doctors. So that's exactly what you were talking about when you were sharing before, was how we push it and we go to another level. And yes, Joyce has always been such a shining example of that.
Our last author is here.
And such an amazing global coach specialist. I mean, accolades after accolades, degrees, you name it. And we have her in our midst. Are we ready? Dr. Lisa Jones. Woo!
Hello, everyone. How are you? This has been absolutely outstanding. Oh my goodness. Yay. Listen, I have been so excited just hearing all of my co-authors. I'm telling you, when I got my book yesterday in the mail, I read my chapter and was like, woo, okay. But then I started looking at everyone else's. I said, I'm just going to have to get the binding taken off of this, put it in a binder, and have this be a true workbook where I can insert pages to take notes. But listen, I've already been over here taking notes from my colleagues. But I am Lisa Yvette Jones, Dr. Lisa Yvette Jones. I have to get used to saying that doctor because it hasn't even been a full month yet. But I am so blessed, okay, to be here, to be a part of this wonderful project. This is my 7th anthology, 6th bestseller. Oh my goodness. And the 4th one this year. So look at how we're ending the year. I am that transformational leadership coach. I actually walk alongside of those professional women who are aspiring to be leaders, to maximize their leadership influence, all while cultivating authentic relationships to empower and aiding them in their self-care success. Because how many of you know that self-care for leaders is not selfish? It's necessary. You must do it. So one of the things many things that I did in this chapter, I was so thankful to be able to write this because the people that I see most are those who are aspiring to lead. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because I have to speak with every employee that comes through my agency. They have to stop by my desk first, okay, in my local office. And I guess after meeting with me, they all come back and say, will you mentor me? Will you be my coach? Will you be that person for me? And all I did was have one little meeting. Don't know what I may have said, but I believe it's the anointing and the calling on my life to get to those inspiring leaders. You know why? Because I've had many experiences with people in position of leadership, in position of power, who really should not have been there. And because I've learned from that, and because I have seen that, I have learned how not only to be a coach to those who are coming in, but I have also an expert in coaching people out of positions that they should not be in. And there's a healthy way to do that. I always tell my colleagues, don't you try it, okay, unless you're trained to do this, okay, but I'm anointed to do this. I have helped people find their passion. I have helped people find their true goal, because leading people is not what they should be doing. And I'm okay with being the one to be the bearer of that news, but also helping them to get on the path where they should be. That's what a coach does, right? We don't just leave them hanging, letting them know that this is not the role for you. How many of you have worked in organizations where the subject matter expert was hired in a position of leadership? Yep, you work in the organization, the subject matter expert was hired or they were friends of the boss. Okay, listen, a position of power, a position or title does not make one a leader, ever at all. And then I think one of my colleagues said it better. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so what we do with I Care Leadership, and I'm the Chief Caring Officer of I Care Leadership, and I am also working full-time for the federal government. So that's why I say when people come to me through my agency, all employees that come through the building must come through me, because there's some other things that I do to kind of get them on the right path. So what I do also is want to get to the mindset of those who want to become leaders to see if that's really where they need to be. Because everyone who has that title is not the one that should be in that leadership. So what I do is I should be in that position. So what I do is I give you pointers in the book on how to power up to be at the table of decision. Okay. When I got to the table of decision, I was the only female and I was the only one who looked like me. I was determined to diversify the tables of decision. I was determined to diversify that boardroom to make sure that we had adequate representation around the table. And I'm so thankful that I have done that to leaders that are now all over the world. And yes, those who still sit with me at the table. But I wanted people to know that what some of those things that were really crucial in powering up to be at the table. You know, some of the things that we do in I Care Leadership is teaching leaders how to lead well, look well, and live well. Lead well, look well, and live well, because we believe that that's all a part of it. And some of the things that we do is making sure that a leader understands that we are not to lead by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. So I am so thankful to be that. I've come through stage 3 cervical cancer with no symptoms, 2 death sentences, have released over 200 pounds, and have been a successful award-winning leader, and who knows how to make sure that the right people are sitting at the table so that the people in their care will know that they have the right person in their care. Listen, we hire people always for their intellectual ability and the way that they can work hand, head. But I also tell people you must also look at connecting with their hearts. Okay, so we believe in transforming and humanizing the employment experience, head, hands, and heart, not only for those in our care, but also for the leader. So get the book. There are some powerful lessons in there. You are going to be so blessed by the work that I have put into this, because it's going to require you to work. Oh, this is not just something going to be fly by night. You are going to have to spend some time in this chapter and really do the work. We're talking about really digging deep and really finding out who you are and what you have to bring to the table to know whether or not you are the one to serve others. God bless each and every one of you. Congratulations to our visionaries on this wonderful project. Dr. Deborah, Dr. Pamela, I love you both. You guys are phenomenal. I call you the dynamic anthology duo. Okay. God bless each and every one of you. And congratulations to all of my co-authors.
Wow.
Well, you better come on through here, Dr. Lisa, with your bad self. Come on and rock that stage. Baby, there's some bad coaches. Y'all didn't know that they were phenomenal. Woo.
Oh my goodness. And I have to give a little plug here, because I want to say something about Dr. Lisa to show the level of the elite specialists here. Dr. Lisa, you have spoke for the U of N, correct?
I have. Last year I was asked to be a guest panelist for the United Nations Women's Conference. So that was truly an honor. Thank you, Dr. Pamela. You know, she's so great at adding value to everyone. And here's the thing about that. And this is the lesson that I learned from that. You have to be ready, not getting ready, but always be ready for opportunities. There was a person that had to drop out, and we are talking about a statesperson over a country, because on that stage were presidents of countries, governors, and you name it. And these were people from all over the world. And my girlfriend who put this on, she said, I know who to call and I know they will be ready. I had 12 hours. She called me at 11 o'clock that night. I had to be on that platform at 11 o'clock that next morning. And I was ready. So I said that to say, be ready, because you don't have to get ready when you are called upon to represent the United Nations.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that.
Done.
Ready. Stay
That's this book. What I got to say? Boom. There it is. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. You are amazing. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here with us today. We love you.
Powerful. And in 2023, Dr. Pamela Henkel, we're going to be so full that we're going to be able to bless people all around us because of the fullness that's going to be upon our lives.
Yes.
That is the prophetic word for 2023. Come to the table
Come to the
and
table.
eat.